I'm smoking, I'm drinking. This is a very long and overdue video that I've been wanting to make, and I've just been putting it off. Jesus radically changed my life. A little backstory. Grew up in a Baptist church. My mom was actually married to my little sister's dad. So we would go to church every Sunday. I want to say I was like 7 or 8 years old, and honestly, I didn't enjoy church because we literally had to wake up early every morning. Didn't understand anything that was going on. I just wanted to be at home in the bed. Although I did enjoy like fellowshipping with everyone on Wednesdays, doing like the Bible study. I think I enjoyed it because they cooked, which is like they had a literal kitchen and they made like spaghetti, like chicken. I love that part because they cooked. I didn't have an understanding of like religion or like God or anything. I was just told we need to go to church, you need to believe in God. My parents didn't say that, but it was like, we're here and this is just what it is. We moved to a new city. Church was just completely out of the picture. Like we just stopped going. And like I said, my mom married my sister's dad, which is my dad as well. He helped raise me as a toddler. Mom did end up getting a divorce, and that gotta spray the road before we trauma dump. It honestly wrecked me. Don't cry on camera. Even though he wasn't my biological dad, like just the fact that our whole family like dynamic was just done for really broke my heart as a little girl. I might need Kleenex. So fast forward to 2015, a year after I graduated, my mom did end up passing away from cancer. Wrecked again. The divorce. From then, like my life completely spiraled. Like, growing up, I didn't really have, I did not have like freedom at all. Very strict. She didn't allow me to like have a boyfriend. I wasn't allowed to go to parties. And I had like the strict mom. Like everywhere I went was just like, I was closely monitored. When she died, it was just like, now I have all this freedom. I don't know how to like cope with anything. That resulted in me just going to parties, having sex, smoking weed, doing shrooms, crazy stuff, right? That I've never been exposed to before, never done. I'm smoking, I'm drinking pills, I'm having sex with multiple men. Like this is the life. Like in my head, like that was the life. Like this is the answer to all my pain. Now I got a baby on the way. I have my son, still wanting to party. I'm still wanting to drink and smoke. Fast forward to the year 2019. I was on my way down the hill to go get my nails done in LA. Like my nail guy at the time was like, hey, you know what? I'm stuck in traffic. There's no way I'm gonna make it to you. I'm gonna have to like cancel. On my way to the nail appointment, I already was feeling like a little bit like nervous. I don't really know why. Traffic, and I'm like sitting there and I just get like this really weird like feeling that like something bad is gonna happen. I couldn't pinpoint it. I just felt really weird. Fast forward to like a few days later, I was like in the kitchen like sweeping, and I just remember getting this crippling feeling of just fear. I just had like a full-on panic attack. I don't even know what I was panicking about. I was just panicked and just hit with fear. Prior to that, I was dibbling and dabbling in a lot of witchcraft, heavily into like crystals, astrology. I would like pray to the universe. I wasn't like casting full-on blown spells on people and stuff. Like I think I just need to like meditate. Need to meditate deeper. I was like telling myself like and I remember shortly after having that panic attack, really bad insomnia, like on edge and just fearful. God is nowhere on my mind. I'm thinking about like Jesus or church or just like at that point I became completely depressed. When I say depressed, I don't mean like, oh, I just felt like I was in like a little mood. I couldn't even comb my hair. I couldn't even go to Walmart. I was just like confined to my room, like constantly in fear. I really felt like darkness was always present around me. So yeah, I'm just completely broken at this point. I don't want to go anywhere. I remember it got so bad to the point where I began to just like hear voices in my head. Or waking up in the middle of the night, feeling like a very dark and heavy presence standing at the edge of the bed. I didn't even know what to do or what to say. And then I remember just something kind of just clicking in me like, okay, if God is real, like I want him to take all this pain away that I'm experiencing. For one day I was in the shower, and then this voice tells me that I'm completely insane, that I need to check myself into a mental hospital. So it's like, now I'm hearing all these voices. The voice was like, you need to tell your family that you're crazy and that you want to be checked into a mental institute. That's what the voice told me. This time I'm like convinced. I'm like, you know what? I start believing it. I'm like, you know what? I think I am just crazy, and I think it'll be better if I just go to a mental institute. My best friend at the time, I think it was like the next day, she texted, hey, do you want to go to church? So I'm like, I think I need church. I remember just getting to church and just being in the service. Everybody's just worshiping and clapping, and I'm just kind of like standing there just faking my way through it. Like, faking my way through the worship. That's so cringy. The worship just kind of like calmed down. Pastor like looked at me, and he just kind of like pointed me out and was like, I need to pray for you. And I'm like, sir. Then I'm looking at my best friend, she's looking at me. Looking back at it, that was one of the first small signs for me that God heard my prayers that I was like praying, and how he just like revealed himself to me. Walk up with the pastor, and he just begins to prophesy over my life. And I say prophesy, I mean just basically say things that I was like going through that nobody knew but God. Nobody knew that I was like that. I'm hearing all these voices, that I wanted to check myself into a mental institute, and I'm begging for God to just take away all this pain. At this point, I am just literally at the altar bawling my eyes out. There was this like lady up there, and I remember just slowly just like falling to the ground, and just like picked me up and just held me in her arms, and I just felt so seen. I just felt so seen and just safe. Prayed for me and prayed over my life. Kind of like sparked my interest to understand who this God was. Maybe like a month later, best friend at the time, because she was already like on her journey with Christ before me, so invited me to church again, but this time it was a church in Gardena. We get to the church. I want to say there was like about like 20 people there. Towards the end, she kind of introduced me to some of the girls. One of the girls was like, have you been filled with the Holy Spirit? So new to this, like, I was just like, no. The girl was like, we want to say a prayer for you. So I'm like, I tell you, I don't even know how to put this into words. I was just standing there, like, we're still in a circle holding hands, and my body is just completely shaking. And I remember just like opening my eyes and like looking at all the girls, and they were like still praying, and like I felt like my body was literally about to explode because of how overwhelming God's presence was. Like God's spirit, like the Holy Spirit literally entered my body. They're done praying, and then I opened my eyes, and when I tell you, I felt so much joy and in peace that I have never felt in my entire life. After that moment, for like the first time ever in like so many years of my life, after being filled with the Holy Spirit and just encountering God in such a mind-blowing way. So now I'm like, God has literally shown himself to me. Now I'm like ready to enter into this relationship with him. Slowly but surely, like I wasn't just completely just out of my depression. Like I still struggled with a lot of things. God, being the loving Father that he is, he walked with me throughout that time and just completely lifted the veils off my eyes, just from everything that I believed about myself, about life, and just broken situations. Fast forward to 2021, I ended up moving to Las Vegas and finding a local church and getting baptized and just fully dedicating my life to Christ. I am still learning and growing in my walk with Christ. It is a constant growing and unlearning everything that doesn't ultimately reflect Jesus himself.